Thank you for joining me today. I am going to be embellishing some junk journal pages. If you like junk journaling, go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any future videos. Okay, let's jump in. I am first going to just kind of pick out which page I want to do. And so I think I'm going to go ahead and do this page. And I have this card, just a pack of cards I got on clearance at, I believe, Target. And so then I have some scrap paper that's kind of some fibered paper. One side has some glitter, kind of silver bits in it, and the other side doesn't. And then a couple little feathers, one with some pink polka dots and the other one with a slightly purple hue. So I'm just going to use some glue, just a glue stick on this particular paper. I want to get that mostly off the mat. It's fine. And just stick this down. And this purple will dry clear on this glue stick. And I'm going to go ahead and get my sparkly piece. You can see kind of the little silvery, shiny flecks in this particular piece. So I'm just gluing that down, a little bit of an angle. And then I'm going to glue the feathers down. I'm going to start with a longer feather. It's pink. I'm going to use tacky glue for this. I did not feel confident in a glue stick. So I'm just going to put just a little bit right on the very end. And there was still so much that it kind of seeped out. So for the smaller feather, I'm just going to use the glue that kind of came out from the other one. And then I'm going to go ahead and put the card right on top. And I'm going to use regular, just white school glue for this. And I glued the entire back of the card. And in looking back, I wish that I had made some kind of pocket or little slide action to tuck something behind. Why I just glued the whole entire back, I'm not quite sure. But that's what happened. So now it's stuck there. Really stuck there. So this card then is just the back stuck on, and you can still flip it open and write stuff in there. I want to make it sure that I get it nice and secure on the feather. So I really get it smushed down here. Okay, we're going to move on to the next page. And for this page, I'm going to put a little bit of Antiquing Distress ink here. And I'm just using the lightest color I have. That's almost like a yellow. It kind of has a coffee stain look to it, and it really just gives that barely light kind of antique look. And so this blends in well with The stripes of the card you can see that I'm going to use on this page. So I'm just using this distress ink and just a makeup sponge because I don't have any little stampers, blotters, and I'm trying not to spend that money. So I'm going to use what I have, which is a whole bunch of makeup little sponge things. So it works enough for my purpose here. So make it all the way around the edges. I don't really care too much about the center because the card is going to cover up the middle. I just want to get the edges all the way around. Come on. Here we go. Nope. Okay, so I want to put the card in the middle, but I'm going to do the edges of the card just because I don't want a white edge right there next to the kind of antique background. Now again, I glued the whole entire back of this card. Now this card, I cut off the inside flap. I got this card from a friend for attending one of her parties. And so I really liked it. It's very cute. Again, I don't know why I glued the whole entire back. I completely should have left at least one side open to make it a little tuck area, but I didn't. Again, I didn't, so the card is adhered to the page now. I'm just going to use these stickers on here to kind of brighten it up a little bit. It's kind of very muted here. That's kind of cute. Okay, so for this particular page, I do remember not to glue the entire back. So I have this little, it's actually a Valentine's box holder. You'll be able to see that in a minute. I put this washi tape on the end of the page. I kind of really like this brown and this pattern here. I'm just going to take this little bit that I cut off and stick it on a corner somewhere. There we go. So you see the back is kind of this Valentine's box, and you would put some candy in it and then fold the little side flaps down. So I decided that made for a nice pre-made pocket, and I could glue 3 sides of this down and have a little tuck area as well. So I'm just putting glue on 3 of the sides, and I'm going to leave one of the longer sides open. So I'm going to go a little bit below middle here, and I used some tacky glue for that. So I do go ahead and let this dry before I start messing with the rest, and I just am coming here and cleaning up some of that extra glue that came out because I don't want it to stick it together, my little pockety insert together. So now it's dry. I've come back now that it's dry, and I'm going to decorate some of this page a little bit. And so I have these sticker tags that I kind of like with this green and brown together. So I'm going to go ahead and use one of these, and I kind of make it come out of the pocket. So I really like that. And then I have these little flowers, and I want to put something right where that hole of that tag is. And there's just some extra glue here, and it's not flat, and that's bothering me, so I had to fix that. Okay. And so here I am discovering that these flowers actually move because they're on brads. I had not realized that. Yeah. So I'm gonna just pick this little smaller flower. I'm gonna put this plastic down first. I'm gonna just kind of make a little mark and then push it right through the page. There you go. It's turns and everything. So now I'm going to go ahead and Mod Podge over this, just the top here. I don't want it to get glued to itself. I should have done this before I decided to glue it to the page, but I didn't. So this is where we are now. We are delicately Mod Podging the top of this because the paint was going to chip. I could tell from the very side it had already started to try and chip away, and so I need this Mod Podge on here to help secure it, give it that additional finish and a little bit more strength to that paint. So just a little delicateness there. And now I'm going to let that dry. I'm going to work on some tags for this page. And so I have just a piece of, I don't even know where this came from. It's, you know, not cardboard, but kind of feels like cereal box, kind of that thickness. So I'm going to use this white glue all over the back of it, and then I'm just going to glue a piece of white copy paper that I had around that's been used for something else, and it kind of looks like it has a little oil on it or something. So I'm just gonna put that right onto my little board here, my paper board, and peel it back up. And then I'm going to just trim the edges to get the excess paper away. And there we go. Clean this up. And now I'm going to cut this in half because I'm actually going to make 2 tags. And so for the first tag, I'm actually going to make it just into this particular tag. So I'm going to line this tag sticker up and stick this down. And so I'm sticking it on the side that was the kind of smoother white side, not the side that I glued the copy paper to. Okay, and the reason I did that is so the side with the copy paper, you can still write on it and it will take a pen or pencil very easily, versus this kind of smooth shiny side. That's not gonna really take any writing. So I'm just going to trim the edges here. And make it the same size as the sticker. And then I want to go ahead and I got some blue ink on it. I want to go ahead and punch a hole so it looks like a real tag. And now I have this other side, and I'm going to do this skinny tag here, but I don't want to, I'm not going to cut it down to be the size of this skinny tag. I'm going to line up kind of in the middle because I still want it to be wide. So I'm just going to put this straight down the middle. And I decided that I was going to kind of cut the end, make it a little fancy cut. But I just really hated it. I hated it. So scrap that. I'm just going to trim it off. Now I do want to go ahead and punch this too. And so now it has a little circle cut as well. But this one still doesn't look done enough. So I'm going to take the same light distressed ink, and I'm going to do it around the edges of this tag, so the colors kind of tie better into each other instead of this harsh white on this green. So I'm going to do the front and I'm going to do the back. And just a light, I just don't want it to be white, but I don't want it to be dark either. Now for this other tag, I have this blue spot on the back because I didn't clean my mat off well enough. And so I'm going to use a little bit darker ink here on this distress. So I'm also going to get it down the sides. But I'm really going to get it on the back. Okay, so there we go. Little quick tags made, and I've let this page fully dry so I can slip my tags in. Look at that. And that one hides completely. I don't want to lose it. I think I'm going to go ahead and, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and tie these signature strings, kind of the ends here that I left long. Go ahead and tie this off to the tag here. And they're long enough that it's still left plenty of room to be able to take it completely out and tuck it completely in. So I'm going to do the same thing to the other tag as well. And it was harder to make these little knots than it looks like it should be. But I do like how this tucks. There we go. That's nice. So let's look back over this. We have this page. We have this page. But I have this little front part of this card that you can tuck something in. And so I have this little tiny scrap from the last little card. And I think I'm gonna go ahead and make a little mini card to slide in there. So I'm going to trim the edges off just to square it up a little bit, and then I'm going to use some of the very lightest color again of the Distress ink just to get around the edges and just to barely kind of change the hue of the tag. Now I'm going to use some of the same stickers that I used for the page, and this particular little tag has some blue ink on it as well. So I'm going to go ahead and use this blue butterfly, and it will cover up the blue ink on the tag very well. And I'm just going to clip the edges off that stick past the little tag, and I'm going to put a flower on here as well. And so that makes for a cute little kind of peekaboo in the front of this particular card. I really hope that you have liked this video today and that you have taken something useful from these pages, even if it is just think ahead and don't do like I do and glue the whole entire back of something to a page. I know better. I was just having an off day apparently, but I might have made up for it a little bit by having kind of the double tuck on the page following this. Again, if you haven't subscribed yet and you do like this video, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It really helps the channel out. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends. I hope that you have a fantastic day, and you come back and check out more of my junk journaling adventures. Thanks. I'll see you next time on Tevil's Treasures.